Greetings, I'm Tandis Narvan Dracovin, Lord and Emperor of the Dracovin Empire. Welcome. Today we're going to talk about Shadowrun again. I'm going to bring in talking about the qualities you can choose in Shadowrun and some basic equipment. So let's start talking about this, and let's start with qualities. Now there are positive and negative qualities. Now if I take a positive quality, it costs me build points. That means it takes away from the maximum amount of build points I have. If I get a negative quality, it actually gives me a bonus amount of build points. Both of these you can only spend up to 35 build points in, meaning I can only purchase 35 build points at maximum of positive qualities and only get up to a 35 bonus build points from getting negative qualities. Now, of course, these are little vignettes of things which add character to your character. Each of these gives you some kind of, let's say you take a positive one, it gives you a circumstantial positive bonus. It might come up a lot for your game, it might not come up very much. The same with the negative, except it's the opposite. It gives you a little penalty. There are points in time which it gives you a little negative to doing certain things. And the fact is, again, these don't always come up. It's up to your your game master to bring them in appropriately and use them for making it that your character fits into the world a little more. So let's talk about the resources you're going to have. And when I talk about resources, I'm actually going to talk about a couple of sections here. Today I'm only going to bring up your gear, which is your basic spending of money. So I'm going to go over everything about the gear. I'll finish up talking about resources and finish talking about the character next time. So let's talk about gear. Now when I'm spending build points, for every 1 build point I spend, I get 5,000 Nuyen. Now Nuyen's the universal currency of the Shadowrun world. That means it's pretty much accepted worldwide. Now you can spend up to 50 build points at maximum, which is 250,000 Nuyen you can spend at most on your character. Now you purchase a lot of things with this amount of money. You of course buy weapons, you buy armor, you buy tools, you buy any kind of gear you need, you buy pharmaceuticals, you buy comlinks, which are your computers slash cell phones slash internet connection. Matrix connection. You of course buy ammo and you buy vehicles. You buy explosives too, if you're buying some for your character. Anything you could possibly purchase, you purchase it right then and there. Now there is 2 other things you purchase and are the 2 big cost spenders if you're getting a lot of money. Cyberware and Bioware. Now, beyond them having a cost themselves, they also of course have an essence cost. I've talked about your essence a little bit in a previous video. It basically is your soul, how much connection your spirit has to your body. Magic users and technomancers are not going to want a lot of, if any, cyberware because it subtracts from your essence. The more cyberware and bioware you have, the smaller your essence goes. It starts at 6. If you go to 0, you die. Now there are grades of cyberware and bioware. There are actually 4 grades, but I'm only going to talk about 2 of them here because they're the 2 grades that you get as a basic character. You can get basic cyberware and an alpha cyberware. Alpha has a much higher cost than basic, but the advantage of it is that it's 0.8 essence cost. That means it's 80% of the essence cost that it would have been as the basic model. So if I buy a basic cyberware that would cost me 1 essence total, if I got it as an alphaware version of it for a lot higher price, it would only cost me 0.8 essence. Now essence does go below, it does go into the points. You can't just do 1 for 1, so it will go into decimal places, and it can get pretty crazy with some of the grades of cyberware really break that number down a lot. Now cyberware and bioware can affect your attributes. If they do, you're not going to bring that into any parts of your other parts of your character creation. Like bioware, there is something that can raise your logic. You wouldn't gain more knowledge skills just because your logic came up at this point in time. You already passed by that section in your character creation. Now, after this, there's one more thing you are going to purchase in the gear section. Your lifestyle. This is paid by per month, and it tells you how you live. Now, there are certain disadvantages and advantages to any lifestyle you take. Of course, it also has a wide range of costs. It can cost you 0 to live on the streets, or 100,000 per month to live in luxury. There is also a lot of an in-between, but the basic idea is wherever you want to live, you choose a lifestyle, and your character might be affected by that. A good game master would bring in the fact if you're living on the streets, you will have to deal with that. You'll have to worry about food, water, hygiene, or even like dangers of living on the street, like other gangs and other things like that. cops, authorities that don't like you where you're living, all these things. You don't want to attract a lot of attention as a Shadowrunner because you've probably done a lot of illegal things, and if the cops are bothering you, that's also just as bad as a gang bothering you. And the fact is, also if you're a negotiator and you're living on the streets and you're not taking any kind of hygiene or anything, you probably will get penalties. It's that sort of thing. But it is, again, a balancing act, and you're going to have to worry about paying for it per month, whatever lifestyle you had. Then again, a low lifestyle is pretty cheap, and you can just live in a crappy apartment in the middle of the kind of slums and call it a day. Anyway, so that's it for today. I've gone over choosing qualities, just the basic information for it, for your character in Shadowrun, and I've gone a little bit over what you're going to spend your pile of money for. I've told you how much money you can get, and I've talked about the gear you can spend it on. Now next time, as I said, I will bring in some of the other resources, which some of it you can spend money on, and I will talk about a few other things. But until then, if you have any questions, comments, anything you want to say, leave it in the comments below. Please leave a like if you enjoyed this video. It shows your support for the channel. Please, if you already haven't, subscribe, join the Empire. Again, it's another way of showing your support for the channel, showing its growth. We're always looking for more citizens of the Empire anyway. If you know anyone that would like this video or learn anything, but please share it. And until the next time, I bid you farewell.